Well, hello there. What's up, guys? My name's Owen. Welcome back to another art video. Today's art video is going to be on the Huion Kamvas Pro 13. As many of you know, I had many complaints about my old tablet, which is the Wacom Bamboo tablet. This tablet I bought about 8 years ago when it launched. It was only like $80 at the time. I was a kid. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. It just took me a whole year to figure out how to actually draw on this thing. Because once I originally got it, I was like, oh my god! I can't see anything! Why doesn't this have a screen? This is so fucking stupid! No, little boy, you were just fucking stupid. It took you a whole goddamn year to do that. To learn to draw with it. But, like I said, I learned to draw with it. It only took a year. No big deal. I know I'm a genius. All I had to do was look at my computer screen and realize I had to do that instead of looking at the drawing when I was drawing. But, yeah. Anyways, with that out the way, let's jump into the Huion Kamvas Pro 13, because I have a lot to say about it. So, the specs of this Huion Wacom... Huion. Wacom. I did it again! But, I digress. Let's get back into the specs. The specs are a 13.3-inch panel size. The active area, so the actual screen that you're drawing on, is going to be 293.76 times or by 165.24 millimeters. I will translate that up into inches so you guys can see that for people that are not needed to be. And the resolution is a 19 by 20 by 1080, so 16 by 9. So it's not 4K, but it's good. I wanted to get a 4K one, but that would have been a lot more money. So I was like, okay, whatever. The LCD type is IPS, so the viewing angles are really solid. When you look at it different angles, it won't change and distort the color much. The contrast ratio is 1000:1. Dimensions are 388 by 219 by 11 millimeters. It has 8,192 levels of pressure sensitivity, or pressure level. Touch resolution is 5080 LPI. I don't know what LPI stands for. I should look it up right now, actually. Oh, okay, that's luminosity performance index. Performance index. The sensing height is 10 millimeters. Viewing angle, it could go up to 89 degrees. 89 degrees for height, 89 degrees vertical. The gamut is 120 sRGB, so it means it has a great color range. And the 4 customized press keys and touch bar on the side. So, that's the specs of the item. Now, I just want to go on and say that I've been using it for a couple months, to be completely honest. This isn't like a first time out the box review. I've been using it for like 2 months or so, a little bit over 2 months, and I really come to enjoy this thing. I do have some qualms about it, which I will get into in a bit. But so the build quality is pretty sturdy. It, like I said earlier, it has keys on the sides and everything, power button, and you're able to scroll and everything. The screen itself, it is has some parallax in it, so that means that between the pen and the actual screen where you're like drawing on, there is a bit of distance to it, so it causes a bit of lag or delay, or it's not as accurate as when you are just paper and pencil and the point is where you're actually pointing. But it's not really noticeable, to be completely honest. The screen itself, on my particular one, since it has fallen a couple times, like the screen kind of like juts out from where the buttons are for a bit. It's like a little bit of a is it concave or convex? Yeah, it's a convex. So it's kind of like a convex tilt to the screen, which is kind of odd, but again, I dropped it a couple times, but it wasn't from like a high distance or anything. It was just off my desk from the stand, because like something would touch it ever so slightly, because the stand isn't like, I enjoy that I'm appreciative that they gave us a stand in this box, but the stand is kind of meh. It doesn't really keep it stable. Like, if I push on it, yeah, it won't budge or anything for much. There is a bit of flexing, but if anything, like touch it from the back a little bit, like just a little bit, it will send the tablet flying off and it'll hit the ground. So that's happened like a couple of times when I was trying to actually record that intro. And like right out the box, it fucking happened. And I was like, really? Another thing that I want to get into is that build quality wise, the screen, my screen at least, actually has a bit of light leakage coming from the top of it. And nothing has ever fallen, like every time the tablet has fallen, it's always been just straight down pretty much. So the top of it never hit the ground. So I'm assuming that the leakage is from that, but at the same time, it might be a defect in their lineup or just mine. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, the only other thing that I would take notice and say is that for build quality wise, it's pretty great. You don't find any heat, like exhaust or extra heat when you're writing or drawing on the tablet, except for the top part of the tablet. That's where the heat is going to be noticeable, like very top in the center. So if you are a lefty and you're using your right to use the buttons and everything, so your screen is actually the other orientation, then it's going to be kind of weird because you're going to have this like little heated area on your palm when you're drawing at the lower portions of the screen. So there is that. Another thing that I've run into that's been pretty lackluster is kind of their software. So at least for me, and I've noticed, not even just for me, I've noticed other people having the same problems with this particular tablet with software and it not registering for like Photoshop, Manga Studio Pro, or Clip Studio Paint is what they renamed it to, and Paint Tool Sci, either 1 or 2. So what happens is the actual software will stop working, or it won't even register that you're on the drawing program, so it won't let you click anywhere. So you have to use your mouse keys and whatever to click. I've actually found a way around this. I was searching online for a answer, and it actually took me a while to figure this out. All the answers that I found online were not helpful. They didn't work, or like it worked for a second and then it stopped the next second. But the best way that I found to get this to work on all the programs is actually just to open up the application and then click administration privileges, and that will fix everything. It will allow you to draw on everything. You don't have to do go into Sci and change any kind of commands or anything. You just have to click that, and then it works fine. And I also noticed that you have to do this after like your Windows updates. I'm assuming you're using Windows, but after Windows updates, you're gonna have to do it again, or it will be stuck. So the software is okay. Other than that, like, it's a good software. You can change pressure sensitivity. You can change the buttons, like what the buttons do, like Control Z or whatever, save and blah blah blah. So other than that, like, the software is really great, except for that nitpick and bug, which is kind of like a game-breaking bug, because this is a drawing tablet. You want to be able to fucking draw, like, don't you? So come on, Huion! I know you've had this problem for years. Why can't you fix it? But yeah, again, another thing I want to talk about really is the jitteriness of the pen. Like, I'm going to drawing now. Like, the actual jitteriness of the pen, it's there. There's no denying it. Like, if you're at a lower level when you're drawing, it is there. It's obviously there. And the lines are really, really jittery. Even when I use a straight edge, it's jittery. But if you have it set to a slightly smoother kind of thing in your program, then it's fine. It's completely fine. It's only jittery when you're doing really slow lines, which is kind of but on how I work, or how I draw, I don't really do slow lines. I just kind of, like, I want to get this shit done, but I also do it in a way that it looks really great, like really clean and everything. So I don't really use slow lines, and if I do, I could just, again, change the smoothness of the actual line in the program that I'm using. So it's not really that much of a big deal, but it is kind of shows that the cost to actual like tech that you're getting or whatever is showing itself in that regard, since it is only like $500. No, it was like only $400 to actually purchase this tablet. But again, it is something to take notice. The really last thing I want to talk about of this tablet for this review is that the pen nib. So this nib of this pen, I've actually already had to change it once, which is really bizarre to me, like completely bizarre to me. I don't press harder than I've ever pressed with my Wacom pen with this one, and I've never had to change this pen nib. Like, I've changed it when I first got it just to see if I could change or not, but I've genuinely never had to change this pen nib, and it's been years. It's been about 8 years, and I haven't had to change this pen nib. I had to change this nib in like the first 2.5 weeks, which was weird because it got really pointed and started making squeaky sounds when I was drawing. So it was just an odd thing for me to have to change this pen nib, in all honesty, because I wasn't used to having to do such a thing. The pen itself, it's really great. Sensitivity wise, has buttons on it that you could edit to do whatever you want, your beckoning call. It feels great in the hands. It has a little bit more weight than this old Wacom bamboo pen. I like pencils with a bit of weight, so it feels like I'm carrying something. But yeah, it's a solid pen. The design is really nice and everything. I can't really complain about it. It looks a lot nicer than this. It's a weird shape, but it looks a lot nicer than this. It's really grippy up on top. So it has like these grooves so that you can just grip easily, and then you just move down, and it has a rubbery cushion on the pen and the banding and everything. It's just a nicely designed pen, and I genuinely enjoy it. So I need to move this! So with that all said and done, for the price and everything, this is a phenomenal tablet. Like I said, I have my own cons with it, software, the stand, the glitches and everything. So it's not really like the best tablet. Is it a Wacom killer? No, it's not a Wacom killer. Wacom still is ahead of the game because they've been like the only one for a long period of time, or the only one that has made bounds and leaps of progress. But this is progress. Would I prefer to have a Wacom? Yeah, because it is more refined, like I said, with parallax and stuff. Don't really have to worry about it. And then there's that brand name, Wacom, that everyone knows associates with quality, kind of like how Apple and Samsung are associated with quality, not the Google Pixel. But I digress. I wouldn't say it's the Google Pixel of the tablet world, because the Google Pixel has a lot of flaws. This has some flaws. This is better than a lot of generic off-brand tablets, and I actually genuinely enjoy using it. It's one of my favorite purchases. Again, if I had the money to buy a Wacom, I probably would have, but that's a shit ton of money, to be completely honest, that I don't really want to spend at this given point in my life, because I can't really justify it. So, should you buy this tablet? If you're starting off as a digital artist, or you want to get more serious with your digital artwork, yes, I would say invest in this tablet. The screen size ratio, at least for me, is like the perfect size. Nothing really to complain about. You could go bigger. They have bigger ones. But the price range, it's a really great price range for people that are starting out, or mid-tier people that don't want to spend like $1,500 on a Wacom tablet. So again, yes, you should try this tablet out, see if you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, just send it back and try a different tablet. It's whatever. Like, try something new. Anyways, don't forget to like the video, comment down below if you found this review helpful, or if you have any questions about the tablet that I may have not covered, or what your experience is of this tablet down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I am coming back. I said it before, but I genuinely want to make more videos. I just need to find the time. It's really crazy this time around the year at my job. Hours of work, but hours more of money. But again, yeah, life's hard being a plastic bag, and I will see you guys later.